Hey, it's the Lowco Hoops Report. Welcome, Lowco Hoops fans. I am Justin Jarrett. He is Wes Kerr, and we are back with you on a Tuesday night of Lowco Hoops. Busy night. I got over to the deep end at May River. That's what they're calling it these days, where the Sharks swept tonight. I think my guy Misa messed up the final score on the boys game in the tweet. He put the halftime score in there, so we got to razz him about that. 63-42, the final in that boys game. In favor of May River with 19 points from Tanner Macy. He had 14 of them in the first half. He was on fire in the first half, hit 3 threes in the second quarter. So they breezed by Ridgeland Hardyville, which seems to be kind of trending in the wrong direction. They got a lot of talent, but just kind of out of sorts tonight in the first half. But I think they can turn things around. That's what the early season's about. Cross and Patrick Henry did battle. The Cross girls picked up the dub, and then the Patrick Henry boys, despite the shorthandedness, got it done. They had to pull up some JV guys. And then you were over at the Bobcat Den, yes?
Yeah, I was there. What a nice win for Bluffton. Happy birthday to Carnell Warren. We're going to try to get him on the podcast, but 54-38 over Beaufort. Really nice win for Bluffton tonight. And I'm excited what I'm seeing over there with that group, because they've got some, terrific group of athletes, and I think they're really starting to gel together on that squad. Warren had a dunk. He also had a block right after he made that dunk. So contributing a number of ways there for this Bluffton team pick up the victory. And Aiden McCarthy looked good. Micaiah Hamilton had a nice game as well, alongside their go-to 3-point specialist, Khalil Chaplin, who's really taking control there behind the arc. He knocked some shots down really all night, had a couple of threes in the ball game, but and then Jamae McConey. I'm trying to read this roster.
Yeah.
He made a couple of threes early in that first quarter, so really balanced.
Is that Jamari Manning Stewart? Jamari Stewart Manning?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's nice. He can shake and bake a little bit. Yeah, handwriting is we don't have to interface with handwriting as much as we did back in the olden days of newspapers, when you might have to write down all the finishers from a 5K on your notepad and then try to decipher it later. But handwriting in the scorebook can be an issue. But that's got to be Jamari Stewart Manning.
Yeah.
Was he number one? He's a
number three.
Yeah. Three. Yeah, that's right. That's him. But, he's a fun little
4 quarters, 12 points overall. So he was kind of their go-to shooter alongside Khalil Chaplin. So they've got some nice, they got some nice producers from beyond the arc, which I really think has improved this year. Joe Linder, he was a strong, all-around player, but they didn't really have that sharpshooter beyond the arc. They got two guys who can really shoot the three, and so that's nice a compliment to have when you have. Someone like Carnell Warren who can drive the bucket and just use that physicality to grab rebounds. He was all over the boards tonight. Carnell Warren was also with that incredible dunk in that game as well. So great stuff for him. And Hamilton's really emerged as well. I think the offense is really gelling. They're passing the ball well together. And Hamilton's been a nice finisher up close. He can hit some clutch free throws. So good stuff over there from Bluffton to pick up that win. And for Beaufort, just a cold start. They got behind early. They only scored 7 points in that first quarter, and you just unable to come from behind. But a really nice game for Amani Kleckley, if I'm reading that one right, leading the way in scoring with, I believe, 17, 18 points. So impressive outing for him. And then, I liked what I saw from that Beaufort team in that, in that second half. They battled a little bit, but just not able to overcome that large deficit after halftime. But hopefully this Beaufort team, they use this to try to find their way early on in the season, because they've got a good crop of athletes here, and we've seen them fight in a couple of ball games this year so far. So, there's a lot of good to say about Bluffton, the way they're playing to start the season, and I'm excited to see how the rematch goes. I believe they play each other again coming up later in the week at Buford.
Yeah, I believe that's right. Friday, I want to say. Yeah, that's right. Friday, because Buford's Own has that matchup on Friday, which we will have Javon and Tristan joining us a little later to talk about the Donnybrook and Seabrook. Double OT Donnybrook and Seabrook. Looks like, if I'm not mistaken, Battery Creek girls got the win. I'm trying to scrub over to the
Good stuff.
end here. It looks like they got the dub 36-31. So we'll enjoy the highlights when we get Javon and Tristan in here. So Battery Creek with the sweep of Oil Branch tonight. Creek boys win in double OT. That is 3 straight really nice wins for them. Ridgeland
CJ
Hardyville.
Brown's they got something working over there. That's a fun group that I think could be an interesting factor in that region by the way they're playing. I mentioned, them and Buford side by side. I think that could be a heck of a rivalry, those two games between those two squads. And certainly Buford's a little bit down compared to what we've seen, but give credit to this Bluffton team. They're a physical group. They like to press and play tough defense, and they've just got some athletes, guys who can make some shots from beyond the arc and just, really strong effort players who kind of do a little bit of everything on that team. And I really like their new head coach. I think he's got them playing some strong, efficient basketball to start the season. So I'm all in this Bluffton team, taking care of business at home for the most part so far this season. But they're going to be a factor in that region, and certainly can be a team that can surprise if they really get everything going together and continue to stay hot from the 3-point range. Watch out for this Bluffton team.
Yeah, and I mean they're kind of confounding a little bit because it's like they lost to Battery Creek. I know it was a back-to-back, but they're both playing back-to-back. So, but they're a little bit confounding because a couple of those losses you're like, I thought they were going to be better than that, and then they'll turn up and beat Buford tonight by pretty handily. So, yeah, I'm not sure quite what to make of them yet, and maybe that inconsistency is part of the transition process of a new coach and just kind of figuring it out. Some nights you get it and sometimes it doesn't quite click or whatever, but no, they're very interesting. They're very, very interesting. And I'll tell you, May River is interesting too. They look better than I anticipated just based on paper, on what they had coming back and stuff. They've bought into the system too, and they'll win ugly. They don't care. They'll keep it low scoring if that's what it takes. They beat Buford 34-30 the other night. But Macy is, he's grown into the body and he's a real force to be reckoned with, slashing into the paint, and he's always been able to shoot it from the outside. And they've just got guys running lanes and running the floor and playing tough D. Josh Harris gave him some good minutes early. I watched the first half. I don't know his name, number 5. He had shout out to our boy Willie White. He got into a car accident earlier. He's okay though. He's watching us. But no, but May River has some nice pieces. Ignacio. Gosh, I'm getting bad with names, man. I'm getting old in real time here. But let me get the scorebook up here. Ignacio Rodriguez, they call him Nacho. He's a nice big who can kind of stretch the floor a little bit. Andrew Johnson gave some really good minutes, was really effective running the point and at the top of the press. Gage Duncan had kind of a quiet first half offensively, but he broke out the second half and ended up with 11. So, they got some nice pieces around. And then Karan Green, Ahmad's little brother. Man, he looks so, he's a senior now, but he looks really fit and strong, the best I've seen him. And he looked good out there tonight too. So they got some guys that they're going to be able to run with the other teams in that really competitive region, I think. This was my first time to see him live. So
yeah, I mean, Tanner Macy from what I saw last year, certainly a guy who I thought needed a little bit more development out there on the court, but the confidence and what he's been able to do with the versatility and his scoring, I think that's just really helped propel this May River team. And once they get those supporting pieces up and rolling around him, they may have something there. So that's a team to keep an eye on. I don't think I still have Bluffton ahead of them if I were to rank the teams, but they're definitely close, and especially a Bluffton team, as you said, has been very Jekyll and Hyde. They can look great one week or one game, and then the next game maybe they drop the ball a little bit. And in a region where you know these teams are so evenly matched, and you never know what can
Yeah.
happen, it's definitely it can a little of a concern, but I like the direction they're trending. It's as you said, a new coach. You have those moments where things go well, and sometimes they kind of go off the rails. So we'll see what happens with Hubert, but yeah, that May routine looks a little interesting as well, and to see, especially Mod's brother, that's really cool to keep the tradition going. That was probably one of my favorite athletes to watch here at Lowco Sports.
I
And
saw him
here in
tonight, as
Lowco.
well as Malik Frost, who is in the
That's probably
portal.
one of my favorite things about this time of year, because the kids are coming home from college. You get to hang out and interact with them during a game, and great to see everybody out and about at the gyms. This is a great time of year to watch
Yeah.
basketball with all the out of region rivalries, and then the tournaments coming up next week. It's a fun time for local basketball.
Yeah, it is. I love that element of it, and I've talked about that before. Where you Christmas time, kids come home after exams, and you go out to the game, and you see a bunch of kids that you hadn't seen in a while, sometimes even years. So that's very cool, and it was neat to see Malik and catch up with him tonight. He just finished up at Hampton Sydney. Well, he hasn't finished up yet, but they're going to let him. Go ahead and enter the portal so he can get situated with the situation for after he graduates as a graduate transfer. He's got a couple of offers, a good D2 out of Texas and Valparaiso out of Indiana are both on him already. And he's just going to kind of wait and see what transpires and see what comes out. So going to be an opportunity for him, though, to continue to educate himself while playing football for another year. So congratulations to him, and got to see our guy Josh Patterson. He wasn't bearing his belly under the basket for the free throws like he does at USCB, but I saw him at the cheese counter at Kroger the other night. He was slinging cheese. I asked him if he had any really stinky stuff. He's got some on the mound, but no. Hilton Head girls picked up a nice dub tonight as well at Hampton County, which, as you'll recall, they lost to Hampton County. At home, and then they came back and they won by 10 tonight, 47-37 at Hampton, which is not an easy place to play, and they're without Linda Young. So kids are growing into roles.
Kudos to them for what they're doing with that
really
team,
quickly.
because Russell Randzuski's he's been there for a while. I believe this is year 4, potentially. I know he came in right before or during COVID, but he's done some great work with that squad. And certainly the wins and losses haven't shown every year, but these girls who have grown up with them, like Deja Godson and some others some of those, Emily Pfister's been there for a while now, and all those girls are making some big contributions to that team. And they got Leah Jackson back, who's a nice, tall, big, can play really good defense. She's been instrumental to how that team's been playing, and and then Roten can hit a bunch of clutch shots beyond the arc. So they've got a nice core there. Obviously, just you have the what if Linda Young was healthy,
right?
This team could be even more dangerous. But but still,
no doubt.
impressive.
But they're scrapping, man. They're really playing tough, and I think it's allowing some players to flourish a little bit just because she's
because
gonna
the
have the
usage,
ball
the
in her
high
hands
usage
so often.
demands.
Yeah, exactly. It allows you to kind of run a little bit different offense and maybe run some stuff that is more suitable to some of the other kids. So, I think it's obviously it's terrible that Linda's out. You wish she was playing out there. But I think as far as the team goes, there can be some positives as far
kind
as
of like what's happening when I talked to Sharon Versa at USB All Access. We talked about the two key injuries that they had to go through this year, and all the the depth players that are putting in some quality minutes for them. So as much as injuries are most of the time and off time are bad things, the depth that you cultivate and just some of what you can develop through that process can be very instrumental. So tough to see Linda Young not on the court, but I'm pleasantly surprised by what I'm seeing over there for that Hilton Lake girls. And do we have a boys score? I'm still
I haven't seen a boy score, but I haven't tried terribly hard because we haven't even said all the scores we have yet, I don't think. But it's a little discombobulated tonight. It was my first day of being in the room for wrestling practice, so that kind of put me behind the eight ball. 46-33 was the girls' final from May River, by the way. Sharks beat Ridgeland. I believe they lost the first meeting up there, right? So that's a nice win for them. Elizabeth Duncan continues to impress, ninth grader with 15 points to lead the way tonight. So baby Sharks growing up fast. Bigham is doing a nice job with that young group thus far this season. Let's see. Oh yeah, Misa got the final score updated right now, but he got the points wrong for Macy this time. Oh man, Misa still blew it. He kept messing it up. Macy with 19. May River wins 63-42. I was looking for a Bluffton girls score. If you got it, drop it in the comments. Bluffton Beaufort girls. I would assume Bluffton won that, but they are battling illness, and we're down to only like 6 healthy players against Military Magnet the other night, which, by the way, explains that score. Jelena Mosley was out, as well as Myra Brown. So Koya was trying to carry them on her back, but against the number 1 team in 1A, that was not going to be enough. And we have a guest popping up in the green room. So let's shout out some sponsors before we get to him, because we have to give some love to the MVP sponsors who make this all possible, starting with my wife, Megan Jarrett. She literally made it possible when she said, yeah, that's a good idea, locosports.com. I think that it might be good. I thought she would say, no, that's a terrible idea. What do you can't do that. But no, she gave me the go ahead 6.5 years ago. So we're doing it. And she is now the official realtor of Lowco Sports with Keller Williams of the Low Country. So she would love to help you find your place in the Lowco, whether it's a starter home or a forever home, maybe an investment property. Call on Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports and the queen bee of the Lowco Hive. And when we find the perfect home, we will call on my friend Jan Lucas at Homegrown Home Inspections. He may not be your friend, but that's only because you don't know him yet. The most interesting man in the world and the best home inspector in the area, bringing incredible level of expertise and customer service to every home inspection. Homegrown Home Inspections will make sure it's the right house for you. And when it's time to sign the papers, we'll go to Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorneys of Lowco Sports and our original sponsors since 2017. We love Ryan and Tiffany and the Mickelson Law Firm team, so call on them for all your legal needs. And finally, Hospice Care of the Low Country, the wonderful caring staff over there led by the tremendous CEO, James Dismond, my great friend, doing great work providing hospice and palliative care as well as free grief counseling in the Low Country, because at Hospice Care of the Low Country, it's not about dying, it's about living. And they are living it up over at Battery Creek these days because Coach CJ Brown has them going. Coach, you ready to join us here? We got you, Coach.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Coach Jarrett? How you doing, Red?
We're not driving on Snake Road again, are we?
No, we just got out of Seabrook, so kind of like the same thing, but like 2 minutes.
Yeah, not too much better broadband out there. We got to work on that statewide. But congratulations, Coach, on another great win. I mean, this is 3 really gritty wins in a row over a 5-day span here for you. So you have to feel really good about the direction things are going for your team.
Yes, sir, man. We're setting goals, man. So now we got guys being goal driven a lot now. So our goal was, we won 3 games last year, so we wanted to get over 3. So we got to 4. We had some guys that haven't beat Wellbrand since they stepped in Battle Creek, so that was another goal. So this game was like more than just one win for us.
Yeah, a double OT thriller. Take us through this game. How did it go down?
Well, Coach Favor, man, I think he kind of picked up on my out of bounds sideline out of bounds play. I had to put the ball in the hands of Elijah. He made Talon step out. The ref called a charge. Clearly, it was a charge. I was hoping it was a blocking foul because we were at 5 fouls, or they were at 5 fouls. So they got us there, and we went into overtime after that. And then we got on the baseline. I knew they were looking for Elijah to get the ball again, so I had Gabe draw play to come out on the sideline, but Gabe just made the right play once he got the ball. and saw he did throw them off the 3-point line.
Yeah, we're gonna get the highlights up here in a little bit and watch them. You won't be able to see them with us, Coach, while you're driving, but we'll let the people watch them while you tell us a little bit more about this game and about this team, because you know, it's really been a team effort. You've got a bunch of guys contributing. Obviously, Elijah Mathis is a guy who you know, got some pub in the preseason as far as a guy to keep your eye on. But, you know, a lot of the other guys are kind of off the radar as far as outside of your program going into the season. So give some love to some of those guys who are doing the yeoman's work and really stepping up big for you guys.
That's another thing about this team, man. They don't care who has the spotlight. Like, no like a ball player, but we have guys that can also do it on the court as well, man. Like Q. Q didn't play against Boston. He rose ankle against Richmond. So, you know, he came to the man the side. Bryce came in for a couple minutes and helped us out. So the way we're looking now, man, we're able to go a little bit deeper. We want to have to. This is good.
Well, I love the culture that's being developed over here at Battery Creek. We all we have, we all we need, and it's certainly working over there for this Dolphins team. And you know, just tell me about what you've instilled in this group and how it's paying off early on in this 2023-24 season.
Oh, we've lost Coach CJ, but we'll try to get him back in here as his connection allows.
We need to improve the connection on this. Here in
yeah,
South
man.
Carolina.
I mean, well, when we tried in the car, that's a dodgy situation. But we'll get him back in here.
We're getting
Looks
back.
like he's making his way back in now. We'll see if we can get him back up as we watch these highlights. Coach, you're back. Oh, we lost his mic. We'll see if we can get him back as we're watching these highlights. You're back, Coach.
Yes, sir, I'm back on.
All right.
Just
Wes was just asking
a question
you
about the culture and how that's grown this year. We all we have, we all we need, and how these kids are buying in here this season so far.
Oh, that. I don't want to, put it there, horse, man, but we know this stigma. Sad to say that, our school and our program has had over the years. It's more something where we try to make more family oriented. Something that our AD also, put on the table as well as far as his coaches, making sure our students are, well kept. So we got we need coach.
Yeah, broke up us on us a little bit there at the end, Coach, but I think we got the gist of it. No, I love that phrase, because at the end of the day, you look around and the guys that are in the huddle with you or on the bench with you or in the locker room with you, that's your guys. That's your squad. And there's nobody coming through that door. So I love that concept that, like, don't look for somebody else to do it. It's on us. It's our turn. It's our time. And it feels like you've got some kids who have really bought into it. And now I think they've got the confidence that they lacked, because last year you were in a lot of battles and you just couldn't get over the hump very often. But it seems like this early season they're learning how to win.
Yeah, and last year we weren't never a second. We weren't.
There you go
again. Yeah. But Hampton County coming up next for Battery Creek on Friday.
That's a fun one.
Yeah,
I like that one. I love these Lowco and Lowco. Hampton was really aggressive with their scheduling, trying to get out and play everybody in the area, and I really like it. I like that everybody was so receptive to it as well. That's you don't, even if you try, it doesn't mean you get the opportunity. But here's Coach again.
Coach, Hampton County coming up on Friday. How are you feeling about a matchup with the Hurricanes at their place?
Man, I saw that they went in double overtime against Bluffton. I saw them against Well Branch. Coach Ramon I played against him a couple of times, man, over the years. I kind of got his scheme down. With our guys, man, we got to take care of the basketball, because he's going to try to speed us up. Once we start to speed up and if we start to turn the ball over, Then you got kids like Devin Allen coming to hit 3 balls. So
Yeah.
they turnovers are not layups for them. It's more 3 balls. And now you got Kevin Chisholm back, down there in the post. So, like I told the guys, man, wear this win tonight, but come Wednesday, we got to come lock in, ready to do the same thing that we did tonight and play a great game.
Yeah, you've definitely been on a run here, and I had asked you before you got cut off this last time about just learning how to win, and I think you were starting to dive into that.
And it's that learning how to win with us is, man, first we use this word elite. We did a lot of professional development as a coaching staff. We went to Atlanta. We went to the coaching clinic. We played a lot of we played in a lot of college tournaments this summer. So, and then I also over the summer I went to College of Charleston, and I was a college coach for a week, man. I got to coach the young kids at Pat Kelsey, his youth camp for a whole week, man, and I learned so much. So now I just brought all those things back, and we use this word elite. We use the word elite in the classroom, the way we walk, the way we talk. We try to be that standout student and try to be the example in the school. So once you start doing that around the school, man, we start to build that culture and be that true example.
I love that. That's culture is it boils down to what you perceive of it, but you guys are doing a good job getting everyone to buy in. And I like that term elite because it's a standard that you can apply to so many different things in life, whether it's on the basketball court, whether it's studies, and certainly if you can have a group of players and boys and girls who are like tremendous workers in the classroom and also transfer that same intensity and work ethic on the court and the field, etc., you're doing something right. And I think that's exactly what's happening with this team. So all together creating a tremendous group of student athletes, because certainly the wins and losses, the record at the end of the day is important, but what really matters is how you're developing these kids. And I think you can say that so far that's your priority, is to develop strong nature and elite young men.
Yep. And we do a lot of stuff off the court as well, man. We we do FCA every Tuesday. Our late practices are really good because we got the Bible study and everything from 4 to 5. We're able to dive into them mentally and see where they're at, because at the end of the day, like we tell them, man, this basketball is gonna stop bouncing one day. So we kind of try to see where we can get them to be, or start grooming them into young men. So the Bible study, looking at their spiritual walk, FCA on Tuesdays in the morning at school, being in the community. We just try to do a lot of things, man, and win off the court as well. So that was another big thing, just winning off the court. And then now we are getting the same results on the court, which is good.
All right, Coach. Any other players that you want to? Oh yeah, we're watching that on its own now. Switched over on me. Any other players you'd like to shout out or maybe challenge before we let you go for the night and enjoy this one?
And my guys, Ethan Cox, Kelvin Willis, Ethan White, Derek, Juju, football players, Damian, Bryce.
Yeah.
I mean, we got them all, man. So now, and those guys when we had our one-on-one meetings, man, this is your role. Are you willing to take your role? And it may not be minutes, it may not be several minutes, but now we are saying whatever minutes or seconds you get, be the best you can do in your role,
Yeah.
man. So.
And before we let you go, Coach Terrence Ash, who did a terrific job with this football program, is really transferring well to 80. What's he taught you, and how has he been mentoring you throughout this process? Obviously, different sport, but same level of expertise in terms of coaching a team. What has he meant to you throughout this process?
And Coach Ash, man, believe it or not, me and him talk a lot more now, man. I love the position that he has, man, because we just it's athletic. So, and he played D1, I played NAIA, man. So now it's just us talking about the vision and things we have for the school as a whole. It's not gonna get there tomorrow or months, but man, we just bounce ideas off each other, man, and he supports us in anything that we do or any idea that we have, man. So Coach Ash is great. He's a great AD, man. He's coming in with the level-headed and just willing to give us anything that we need to be a successful program in athletics.
Very good, Coach. Well, we appreciate you, and we know you're home now, so we'll let you spend some time with the family and bask in this one. But congrats on another great win, getting over that win total from last year, and best of luck going forward.
Yes, sir. And, hey, Jarrett, I appreciate you, man, and Wes, man, for being the ESPN around Buford, man. We appreciate it, man. So, hey, anything we can do, man, we watch, we share, we support, man. We thank you guys for being that around here in the area as well.
Well, we appreciate the shout out, and we love what we do and just want to keep doing it. So, yeah, we appreciate the call for support. Support us, folks. We want to keep doing this for a long time. Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Yes, sir. You have a good night.
Take care, brother. Great guy, CJ Brown. I covered him back in the day playing for John Drafts. Man, that dude could ball.
And that program's gone along. It's gone a long way under him, and so many improvements. I remember, the past few years they've had a couple of down seasons, and just really happy and proud to see what he's done this year to develop and take this team to the next level in Lowco, and I think in this region as well. So I'm really pumped for Creek. Boys are on the rise, they say over there, and just good, awesome to see that developed talent start to shine here, and that's a couple of strong wins in a row for the Dolphins as we get close to the ladies.
Yeah, checking out the girls' highlights now. Speaking of Creek being on the rise, the girls got a dub tonight against Whale Branch as well. We've had some battles between some of those. Mark Rennick's one of the great officials in the area, all sports. Great dude. Went to Cooperstown with us with the Waves. Says great coach and mentor. Rennick's his son went to Battery Creek. He's been associated with us, but he didn't go there. He's from Pennsylvania. But Rennick's a good dude, and giving love to CJ. No, there have been some good battles between these area girls teams, even though they're not super competitive teams overall. They're really competitive amongst each other. And like Buford and Whale Branch had some crazy battles, and Battery Creek and Whale Branch have had some crazy battles.
These young ladies and young men, they know each other well, and throughout their childhood. So it means a little extra when they go up against them now at the high school level. So it's
you
really
mentioned
cool.
That Buford Battery Creek rivalry could hype up a little bit this year. Hopefully not to the levels it has in the past where people did stupid stuff in the stands. So, let's remember we're all one community at the end of the day, and be cool. Be cool, babies. Ha! Mark's son played with CJ at Pals, 9-10 boys. And now he's the cross-country coach at Converse. Am I right,
That's
Coach? Cool. I think that's right. Maybe it's not. Yeah, I think it's Converse. I think that's where he's the cross-country coach. Oh, nice bucket. Ooh. Inside. Okay. Do have a handful of scores that I've tracked down that I'll read off. Again, Battery Creek wins this one 36-31 over Whale Branch. Other girls scores: Hilton Head 47, Hampton County 37, May River 46, Ridgeland Hardyville 33, Stall 55, Colleton County 37, and then I got the Patrick Henry score from the Stricklander. Patrick Henry cross girls win 51-34. Patrick Henry boys win 96-71. Cross likes to get up and down. My boy likes to run and gun it.
Yeah.
He says thumbs up. Converse. I was right. My boy Doc likes to run and gun it, so he's going to give up some points some nights. 96-71. I'm still missing a bunch of boy scores, so we'll continue efforting those as the show goes on. What else do you want to talk about, Wes?
I'm trying
to find scores over here.
Yeah. Still trying to effort to Carnell Warren to come on, but I understand it's his birthday, and certainly some celebration in order after a nice win. And he had some nice dunks. He had a terrific block on the other end. He also helped out in the assist game, made some beautiful passes down the court to set up some buckets. So doing a little bit of everything on his 16th birthday. That's great to
Nice.
see. And he's just a really tall, athletic, great rebounder. He was racking up those boards all night long. That wide receiver build we saw in football season, it really sets himself well, to fend off opponents, to grab those boards. So he's been really everything that Bluffton's been hoping for. But Brandon Bryant, that explosiveness, athleticism, that's been a huge component of what Bluffton's been doing. And then those spot-up shooters have obviously it's hard to maintain that consistency night in, night out, but I'm really impressed by the effort that they put on against a Buford team that was looking good coming into this game. And Samari Bond was held in check for the most of that ball game. And Eagles had a couple of other guys that were able to get on the scoreboard and impress, but Bluffton had that big run early, and they were able to shut them down enough to keep the lead above 10 points and not get too close. But I think this Buford team, they're going to get better as the season goes on. I think all these Jeremy Huff teams that we've seen throughout the years they're scrappy. They know how to win. They know how to close out ball games. We saw that a lot last year. And I think as Samari Bonds goes, I think this team will go for the most part, but definitely they'll need some more supporting pieces when you lose two instrumental guys like a James Dennison and a Soli Gay, among others. Among some others that I did not mention, that senior guard from last year. And did he come up with some clutch shots? So they're going to have to find some scoring sources from other guys, but they're going to make you fight, and they're never out of a ball game, although Bluffton did a good job to hang on in this one. But Jeremy Huff, that's a team that's always going to give you a fight most nights. And that Buford Battery Creek rivalry, that could really the ante can be really up this year with how well the Dolphins are playing. So looking forward to those two games.
Yeah, I'm still efforting scores, and I'm striking out on most of them. So if you have scores and you're watching, we're looking for Buford Bluffton girls still. We're looking for Hilton Head Hampton County boys. Any of our Hampton Countyans listening, and Stall Colleton County boys as well. And what was that Buford Bluffton final, boys?
Buford Bluffton final for the boys. Got it right here.
I don't have that one logged yet.
Yeah. 54-38.
54-38.
Yeah.
I will say I was really starting to get high on Buford, and then they lost 2 in a row to May River and Bluffton that I didn't really see coming. So, but I think you're right that if you can take Samari out of the offense, if you can limit him to like 10 or 12 instead of 20, you got a shot, because like Cleckley was able to pick it up a little bit.
Those other guys that can beat you. That last Buford team, there are a bunch of guys who could beat you. They just don't have that depth yet on that team. Just consistent playmakers who can rebound the basketball and score like they had last season. I think Bluffton did a good job of dominating the boards in this game. Buford didn't really get many second chance looks. Bluffton really cleaned it up defensively. They were able to swipe some balls away for some steals, and they weren't able to get to the free throw line often as well. So it was a really solid defensive job. And I think Bluffton, their coaches did a good job really emphasizing the defense because we saw in past years the effort wasn't always there from that Bluffton boys team, but I think they've found a really new identity with how they play defense. They're not afraid to press, come up and try to steal the basketball, and they're really crisp. They play strong half court D, and they're going to make you work to get a bucket in the paint. So that's going to be a tough team to face in region play. It's not going to be easy. I think that Bluffton still has a ways to go to really find that consistency, because sometimes they have some cold stretches and it can hurt them. But for the most part, I'm liking what Bluffton is doing from what I've seen from them so far. But certainly the Battery Creek game is kind of eye-scratching, but then again, Battery Creek is looking pretty solid this year. So
yeah, and Bluffton kind of likes to play a defensive, slower style, right? I mean, they like to get in the half court. They like to work it around. So I think they just, tired legs on the second day, you're playing that kind of game. Battery Creek will play you ugly. They're fine with that. And they'll get after you on defense, So as that was a competitive game. I don't make too much of it. I think Battery Creek's a much improved team that if you don't play well, if you don't shoot it well, when you get looks, then they're going to be a problem because you're not going to get a whole ton of clean looks. They get after you pretty good on D. So I'm not too concerned about that. I think Bluffton's pretty solid. I think May River looked really solid tonight. I obviously haven't seen James Island, but they're good. I mean, RJ Simmons is really good. And when you have a really good guy on the ball all the time, it makes you pretty elite, pretty fast. So I think James Island will be a problem. But then I think most everyone else is kind of about the same. Colleton has kind of slid off a little bit this last week or so, but they're the kind that if they start to gel, they start to click, and they can really get hot in a hurry and cause problems for people.
Yeah,
too.
especially all the senior leadership that they have this year as a team. You don't want to count out when it comes to region play with Hamilton, Gant, and some of those other guys who are starting.
Nick Williams. Williams is I say we don't talk. He doesn't get enough love. Well, if we're not talking about him, who is? But he went toe to toe with Kayvon up in Walterboro, and really, Kayvon, he ended up with a nice stat line, but most of his scoring came after Williams fouled out or when Williams was on the bench with foul trouble. Now, Kayvon is responsible for getting him in foul trouble, but like that dude, he can go physically with anyone, and he's super athletic. So, he's going to be a matchup problem. For example, May River, they don't have anybody really who can match up with him physically in the post. So, I think they'll have some trouble with him. Bluffton's got some big physical dudes who can probably bang with him a little bit. But if you don't have a big who can bang in there, he's going to eat you up on the offensive glass and posting you up. So, and if you try to sag on him, then Hamilton's going to hit threes and Gant's going to hit threes, and they can be real trouble. So there's going to be some really fun matchups. Hilton Head will struggle with them too because I don't know who guards Williams on that team. Danzel's he's a nice player, but he's really undersized in the post. So that's going to be interesting to see some of those matchups and how they go about it. But then on the other hand, if you can get out and run a little bit, you can.
Yeah, Hilton has been good transition when they've been, getting quickly to the hoop on the other end.
Well, that's the fastest way to send a tough big to the bench is get out and run.
Yeah, and I like the way Shane Brown kind of attacks those matchups. He does a good job breaking it down for his team, but that Colleton squad has the dudes to really make it tough for that Seahawks squad. So yeah, it's so all these games are so matchup based when you talk about who individual guys going up against each other when you're playing that man defense.
Yeah,
throughout a game, but. It's exciting to talk about region play. I mean, this time of year is fun, and I feel like this year compared to other years, we're getting so much more like matchups around teams are staying here to play other teams in the Low Country a lot more instead of going elsewhere to find games, which I love. I love that. I'm a strong point of that. Let's do more of that in the future for sure.
Heck yeah, I love it. It's been awesome because every night that there's games on, you have multiple Lowco on Lowco games to choose from, which is phenomenal for us. Because in some seasons, like you said, it feels like there are a few teams that play each other, and we see all of them a lot. But then everybody else is playing teams from Savannah or whatever, Charleston, and we're not gonna pass up a Lowco on Lowco to go watch that. It just doesn't make sense. Strategically or logistically, it's like if we can go see two teams at once, four really, with boys and girls, and give photos and footage and all that stuff and give them love, whichever team wins, that makes the most sense for us. So it's been awesome to see that, and it just gives us
guaranteed winner every night.
Compare, guaranteed winner is great for us, but it gives us a chance to see them head to head too, and kind of when it comes to the end of the year and we're talking about all Lowco and stuff like
And you're
that, and the
comparing
stats are
apples
close,
to
you can go, well, when they went head to head, this one did that and this one did that, and it kind of helps you break some ties and stuff. So it's useful for us for sure, and I think it's great for the fans. I think it's great for the kids because it puts a little bit more on the line, because some of those kids, maybe you played travel ball with them, or you played played with them in rec ball coming up or whatever, and or you're just friends with them from living in the same small community here. It puts a little more on the line. They know each other, they talk smack at each other, and it's all in good fun for the most part. And as long as we keep it all in good fun, it's all good.
That's the number one priority. You don't have any extracurriculars happening on the court or on the sidelines, but we've done a good job, thankfully, avoiding much of that so far. Which is, rivalries are healthy, but you want to control them. You want them to be, all in. It's at the end of the day, there are more important things, but you want to have that competitive edge as well. You want to have that excitement, and rivalries do that. No matter where you are, but especially here in the Lowco. So that's been a lot of fun, and it's been an excellent first few weeks to kind of see these rivalries develop, and especially for like a Hampton County, we haven't seen to have that schedule where they go on a tour throughout the Lowco and play all these area teams. It's kind of fun to see them against everybody to start the year. So to have those
I think to some degree it's like they combined all the teams that Estill played and all the teams that Hampton played, because everybody had to schedule somebody with Estill off the schedule, right? So it's like Hampton got everybody. They loaded up. It's nice fun. I'm trying to see if I can find a Hampton Hilton Head score from one of my Hampton people on the Facebooks. I'm looking for that boys score because that should have been a good game.
Yeah. By the way, how about Hilton Christian County last night against Bethesda? That's another nice win. Harry Skinner.
That was a really nice win. That's why I was texting our boy Willie to see if he wanted to come on and talk about it, but he got in an accident earlier. So, but no, Harrison Skinner had 22 again, right? So he's averaging 22 for the last 3 games, which is nice.
Phenomenal.
Nice.
He's a scoring machine. The way he's been able to light up beyond the arc and be that spark plug to drive and score some buckets and close as well. And that 4 assists, 3 steals on is pretty nice as well. Have that unselfish mentality to his game, as he should as an underclassman. And then Elijah White put in some as well, a couple of boards. And don't forget about Isaiah Anderson. He's been there for a while, and that guy is a built athlete as well, and has the height to rebound the basketball. He's really good at those putbacks. And I just want to see him, if he can take that next step and just have the confidence to score, not will, but just to score more often and to have that efficiency go up when the ball gets in his hands. That's going to be important to have the extra scoring ability from him. And it's a really nice score they have at HHEA, and I'm pumped to see how they do in what should be a really fun region over there. So they're home on Friday against Hammond. I've yet seen them at home, but I also think I might go. I don't know what your plans are on Friday, but that Hilton Prep BA girls game looks really good as well. 6:00 tip.
Yeah, that's. I think both those matchups are pretty interesting, actually. I haven't made plans for Friday yet. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. Patrick Henry JP2 is maybe for me. I'd like to see Patrick Henry when they're in the area. Bluffton Beaufort, you saw that tonight. That'll be on Beaufort's own, so we'll have that covered. Creek at Hampton is way fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a long drive.
Make the hour drive. Yeah, I don't know if I can make the hour drive on Friday. We'll see how I'm feeling Friday night, but I might give that a run. I may run by Patrick Henry JP2 though. That one probably makes the most sense for me. Makes the most sense for me.
I'm pumped to see the Hilton Prep girls team. Courtney Campbell has been legit this year, but Beaufort Academy, they've got some vets in that lineup that could make it tough, and especially with Kamira Freeman gets going, is really grown the last few years and there, and she's now have to take the starting role with no more.
Well, you got to assume it'll be Courtney on Kamira for the
Yeah,
whole
that's
thing,
always fun to
right?
see those best on best
So that'll
matchups.
be fun. I mean, I'd expect Courtney to win that matchup, but Kamira's tough. She scraps. Javon's watching. We gave you the link, Javon. You can come on and talk about it. We talked with CJ and watched the highlights. Yeah, we were hoping to hear from Javon and Tristan about that crazy game, but we'll have to catch up with them a little later on. We did get to watch the highlights and hear from CJ Brown. Still looking for a few boys scores. If you have that Hilton Head Hampton boys score, would love to hear about that, as well as Stall Colleton boys and Beaufort Bluffton girls. Those are the ones we're still looking for. But some big standouts tonight. Tanner Macy had 19. He's claiming 20. Oh, we got somebody. We got a live one. We got Tristan Roberts. What's going on, Tristan?
What's up, everybody?
Made it back from the free basketball in Seabrook, I see.
Yes, sir.
Crazy night over there. The Battery Creek girls hang on for the win. Oh, Javon's at Taco Bell. Yeah. Him and the Stricklander both. Stricklander hit up Taco Bell on his way back from Cross. But no, the Battery Creek girls hang on in a close one. And then, of course, the star of the show was the boys' game. Double overtime, crazy finish. Take us through it.
Yeah, so with this girls' game, one thing I did notice was that Creek got their floor general back in Amari Days. It looked like, I guess she was out with a hand injury last week, but last time they matched up. But one thing I think Creek did very well, that they didn't do the last game, was one, they pressured the perimeter more. They didn't let Zaria Coaxum get going from the three. She had her, I think she had like 1 3 on the night. So they didn't let her get going from three. They did a good job at not fouling. They played a pretty clean game all throughout. Desiree Jenkins, she's kind of that N1 machine for Well Branch. If she gets going, then they're going to start piling on points quick because she gets fouled, gets the N1. So they did a good job of just keeping their hands up, not reaching over for the blocks and kind of just trying to contest the shot itself. That's mostly what I took away from that Creek game. They played the same scrappy style defense that they normally play all the time. So, that's kind of what I took away from the Creek girls. But the Creek and Well Branch game from the boys, that was a show. I got sent down at 50 seconds or something in the fourth quarter because I thought, game's probably going to be over after that. And I ended up staying down there for both the OTs. That's why you didn't hear me on the broadcast, because I was trying to get the sideline interview. So, but
I was like, I heard you at the start when I first started listening, and then you disappeared, and I was like, wait, didn't I hear Tristan earlier? And then I heard him say, let's send it down to Mr. Roberts he's waiting for the post-game interviews. And that was the end of the first overtime, and then you had to go another round.
What I noticed was, I think that Creek team just wanted it more than Well Branch, if we're being for real. That's kind of what I noticed. Both teams played a pretty good game, like all together. Well Branch, they did play they played that scrappy defense, but it was like too aggressive in the later stages. I think fourth quarter, with like 5 minutes left, they were already at 4 fouls. They did a good job of not getting them in the bonus until OT, but they had like 4 fouls. They were on the edge of the bonus right there. One thing for Well Branch is that their shooting just couldn't get going. That's normally like their main source of offense. They penetrate in the lanes, make you guard the lanes more, and then kick it out to their shooters, and their shooters normally hit down the shots. But David Evans, Talon Lee, LaRon, normally their shooters of the team weren't really knocking them down all today. For Creek, one person that showed up when it mattered most was Gabe Leggett. I don't think he hit a shot before that clutch game tying 2 right there. So that just goes to show you how basketball could work. You could go 0 for 16 and then hit the one shot that you need to hit.
Keep playing, man. Just
as a baseball coach, you can go 0 for 4 and then come up with a walk off and
walk off.
You just keep playing. It's not over yet.
But just your impressions on this Battery Creek team and what they could do this year after a couple of nice wins over local opponents, coming off that win at Bluffton, a Bluffton team that beat Beaufort today. and now they stay hot with a dramatic double OT win.
This Creek team can go far. They have all the pieces that they need. They have the scrappy defense that they need. They have the shooters, the people that can step up in the clutch moments. They have their floor generals. Ethan White is somebody that I saw step up today. Normally Q Williams is in the starting lineup, but Coach Brown, I guess, decided to try something new, put Ethan White in there, and that's kind of like that was kind of their spark plug on defense. You know, Q Williams, he's a great defender, don't get me wrong, but Ethan White, I think it's just his size over Q Williams kind of puts him over, you know. So
I like Q as that sixth man too, because he's like a real energy guy. You bring him off the bench after they get just kind of a step slower and let him go in there and get you a steal and a layup and just get you juiced up. I like that for his role.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Elijah Mathis, he had his big moments, of course. He had a couple missed and one opportunities I thought was going to go drop down early in the first half. I think he had a step back three that almost was a 4-point play, and then he had a floater over Brad and Greg that just bounced off the back rim. So, you know, he's always going to contribute on the defensive side of the ball, getting steals, giving his team that energy whenever they need it, taking the charge when they need it. Yeah, that's kind of my takeaway. This Creek team is just a scrappy, well put together team, well coached. Coach Capers and Coach Brown are doing a great job with this team so far. So I would like to see more in the future.
Yeah, no doubt. We're getting the last part of regulation queued up here, or the last part of the first overtime, I guess. Actually, where Wellbrand scored the first two buckets. I think it was Jenkins who scored the first two buckets to get them up 4. And then Creek gets one there, and then we're going to see them. They go up 4.
Wow.
Is that right? Oh, that happened fast.
I think on that Bradford layup, I think they said that somebody.
Oh, they called a foul. That's right.
Yeah,
they called a foul away from the ball. I remember now from seeing it live. Yeah, they call a foul up top here
because everybody
see the guy come in saying no. They blew the whistle, and then Leggett comes back and hits the tying shot. Just a crazy floater.
Everybody on that sideline thought that game was over after Bradford hit it, and then they just waved it off. So that kind of well-branched
pass.
Wow.
That's some good find right there.
Nice defense.
And the defense, the active hands going the other way.
Spotted by KJ.
Yeah, the defense stepping up here in the second overtime.
There's the spot. Sophily giving them a nice little applause over there. This photographer, he liked that block. Oh, Dave Evans. Nice closeout. Did he not get him?
Yeah.
Man,
expected that shot.
He got a decent amount.
That was a great closeout. You know, that 3.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, gritty win by Battery Creek. I am on board with what this Brown coach team can do. CJ Brown's doing
what can Brown do for you?
There you go.
Good old UPS ad. No, that's a nice dub. Tristan, you've seen all the Buford teams pretty much now a good bit. So Buford High, I was starting to really think they were riding high, and then they lost back-to-back games to May River and Bluffton. So what's kind of your take on them? You feel like they're going to be okay? They played a bunch of games in a short span, it feels like. So maybe the legs are getting a little tired. They need a little break. But what do you make of their struggles here in the past few days? And do you make too much of it or not?
I wouldn't say so. Coach Huff has coached that team really well. He, like, from my interviews with him and everything, that's a well-run team right there. So they're gonna bounce back. They're gonna have their little rough patches since they did lose like 3 key pieces on offense and defense. So they're gonna have the rough patches. They're gonna have the growing pains of being a newer team, as you could say. Yeah. But they're definitely gonna bounce back. Samari Bond, he's gonna try to step up any way he can. Amani Cleckley, he's gonna do what he can, find the open guys, make the layups when he needs to. AJ Newton, Brandon Blackman, they're gonna step up. whenever they need to. So, I feel like this Buford team they're gonna bounce right back.
Yeah, I think there's also like a lot of pieces there. So I mean, like they just got so many guys, and they're playing a lot of guys and trying to see different combinations and stuff. So we talked a little earlier about how when Samari's not scoring, they kind of struggle. So I think they're kind of trying to figure out who can be that secondary scorer. And if they can find somebody who can consistently knock down some shots and take some heat off Samari defensively, then that opens it up. So
trying to find
I think going into the season, most people thought it was going to be Cleckley coming, like seeing his little preseason highlights and everything. I think most people thought it was going to be Cleckley that was kind of taking the heat off Samari and everything.
Cleckley led the way tonight. He was outstanding. He scored a couple of tough floaters and had a nice jump shot. He had a 6 in the fourth quarter.
I think he had 17.
18, yeah.
Tonight,
but Bonds was held to
18.
2 points.
Yeah, he had 18.
Bonds was held to 2 points. They were both free throws, so no scoring from the field for Samari Bonds at all.
Who defended him?
He took him away.
Do you remember? Do you know who was on him, or were they zone or?
They played him.
I'd love to.
I'd
love to know who was defending him because I'll watch that huddle. I'll watch that huddle. Give them some love. Whoever was defending Bonds, because you hold Samari to 2. You did a job, son.
You did your job.
You don't got to score any. You might as well score 18 for us because if you hold them to 2, we're counting it as points scored. No, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are past an hour, fellas. We have not shouted out all of our sponsors either. We got to get to the varsity sponsors. DDS Web Design, great place to get a website or get yours spruced up with some SEO tactics so that you can get found online and do more and think bigger. Check them out at ddshhi.com. And the Parker Law Group, our friends who have been serving folks with their legal needs across Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties for years. We appreciate their support, helping us expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes. And we'll get to the Lowco Booster Club in just a minute. But Tristan, thanks so much for jumping on with us, man. You are doing terrific work over there at Buford Zone. And, give a little shout out to the opportunity you're getting over there, because I saw as I was watching the broadcast tonight, I'm always reminded that you guys are always looking for more students to get involved. And, we love to see students getting their hands-on experience there and then coming over here and helping us out as well in the areas that they want to continue to develop. So make a plug for your fellow high school students to get out there and join the crew.
Yeah, if anybody has any interest in like sports broadcasting or just like finding out how the little broadcasts work behind the scenes, you can hit up Buford's Own on Facebook or anything. He's very responsive. When I first hit him up, he responded immediately and was like, "Yeah, we meet on Wednesdays and they're now Thursdays now with the basketball and wrestling schedule that he's on." But he's a great guy, hands-on learner. He's gonna teach you everything. He's not gonna let you go in there unprepared. So that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, man. Javon's doing great stuff, giving you guys opportunities, and you're doing a great job of taking advantage of it. So thanks again, Tristan. Always a pleasure to have you. Get that homework done and get to bed. School day tomorrow.
All right. You guys have a good night.
Take care, man. Thanks. You too.
No problem.
Tristan Roberts, Whale Branch student, doing terrific work at Buford Zone. I love having him on with this, man. He does he sounds so good. He knows what he's talking about. He's paying attention. He's absorbing and really learning all the time. So glad to share the platform with him and all of our students.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about when you're able to get the experience to work at this level and to learn the skills of journalism, broadcasts, production. It's professional work that these guys do, and certainly they deserve more appreciation and compensation for everything that they have accomplished. But it's great to see that next generation of students, especially when it's the kids. Javon does a great job, but when he gets the kids involved and they, start doing the work and get on the broadcast.
Speaking of the devil, there he is. Javon Livingston in the flesh. Got Taco Bell in his belly. What's up, buddy? He wasn't ready. Where's your mic? I don't
I
got your mic.
was just about to.
I'll kick you back to the green room and let you figure it out. You good now? I can't hear you. You got it on the wrong mic. Yeah, we got you now.
Yep.
Okay. All right. My bad.
What were you saying, Wes?
I was just gonna. I was just watching part of the clips from the Bluffton game. Micaiah Hamilton was doing some great defensive work on Samari Bonds. He was able to take him out of the game, and he was all over him. And from what I saw watching the film, I mean, the heights and just the advantage and the intensity with which he played with to be that rim protector to force some misses and steals from Bonds. That was everything. And then another guy to shout out, Aiden McCarthy. We talked about a lot during football season. He started tonight, and he was outstanding. Not just scoring the basket, but playing tough, tenacious defense. So that's another name that was worth shutting out tonight because Aiden McCarthy provides an extra level of grit and just great IQ, basketball sense, knowledge. And he really showed up in a big way and helped Bluffton win that game and hold on to that game. So, obviously it was a great night for Jemai Manning, who made a couple of those threes, and then Carnell Warren, Khalil Chaplin, but McCarthy was phenomenal tonight as well for that Bluffton squad, which, good to see other guys showing up and to play to get to that strong defense because that Bluffton can be tough if they can continue and keep it up against an athletic Buford side. But Javon, your thoughts on while we're on the subject, your thoughts on Buford and how they're doing a couple of tough losses against, including Bluffton tonight.
It's exciting to see that. Because I like the way what basketball is right now in Beaufort County. It seems like it's really tough. Everybody's kind of beating everybody. I thought I saw Well Branch in that preseason tournament, and I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know if anybody has anything to, and then Buford sweeps them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then now they play Battery Creek, and they beat Battery Creek, and I'm like, it's gonna be another one of those years for Battery Creek in basketball. And then they go double OT and win. You know what I'm saying? So, and then to find out that Buford played Bluffton and May River and lost those games, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And then now they got to play Bluffton has to come. You know what I'm saying? They have to go. They have to go to Bluffton. So it's like, all right, cool. Now I'm excited. I'm like, all right, cool. Now all these games, it's just you don't know who's going to win, what way it's going to go, and I'm just
it's wild. Like somebody asked me tonight, who should win this game between May River and Ridgeland Hardyville boys, and I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it could go either way, man.
I really thought Ridgeland Hardyville had more talent and athleticism going into the game, but May River dominated them. You don't know until you show up and play the game. They're kids. They're gonna have nights where their head's not right and they make bad decisions, and they're gonna have other nights where they're on fire and they're doing everything right. And that's the unpredictability of it is a big part of what we love about it.
Especially on the boys' side.
You show up, you don't know who's going to win, you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know who's going to be the star.
Yeah,
that's my favorite thing about it. It's like, what's going to happen tonight? Nobody knows, but they're all waiting to hear, and we get to tell them. So it's so fun, man. I loved watching. I got home. May River was blowing out Ridgeland at halftime, so came home and put you guys on and watched the last little bit of regulation and then all the overtime. So just once again, grateful for what you do and the platform to be able to check in on stuff like that on a regular basis and go back and watch stuff that we missed and see, what went down. So you guys are killing it. The post-game highlights are amazing. And our boy Tristan is outstanding. He's just a great analyst. Yeah, he's doing great.
He's doing it big, man, and I appreciate him joining me. I hate that he's gonna leave me for baseball season, man.
Is he a baseball guy?
He's a baseball guy.
All right, I love it. I'm a baseball guy too.
So he's going.
Thomas Erdell, by the way, one of your alums, giving you the shout out.
Hey, big surprise! Thomas Erdell's commentating later on. He's coming home for Christmas break.
He's making a comeback over Christmas break.
He's gonna join us for Christmas break. So I'm excited
because he's outstanding too.
I have him, doing the color, and then Tristan to be able to experience being a true sideline, like getting in the huddles, listening to what's going on down there on the coaching side, and be able to give some insight. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be awesome to experience.
Javon, we just talked about this before we went on, but it's got to be cool for you to see the kids taking more charge of this and to see them do broadcasts, to these sideline post-game interviews, and help with the filming, recording of this stuff. How cool is it to have all these student interns involved in what you do?
Well, it's at this point, it's only one, but in and out. I mean, we had Kylie for a little while, but she has National Honor Society and stuff, things that she wanted to do, and then we're getting Dom on. Just the schedule hasn't lined up because football season, and that's on me. Football is like every Wednesday we do Wednesday, but now with basketball and wrestling, you always got something going on. So kind of had to change it. I kind of had to zoom out my schedule and just really look. Okay, what's an open day to meet? And so we had to move it to Thursday. So we'll start meeting regularly on Thursdays to get Dom in, hopefully get him in for a good bit before baseball starts for him too. So. But yeah, I'm excited, and Thomas is coming back, and that's what I wanted to grow. And now I get to the point where I can get some kids on some cameras. I can start going to multi-camera for these games. Yeah, I would love to do that, especially for basketball, under the court. With baseball and stuff, I mount those cameras and I pretty much get what I need to get. But for basketball, it'll be awesome to get some under the rim, cameras and zoom in at the free throw line, and it would be so awesome, man.
Yeah,
it
man.
would be awesome.
Now you're always taking it to the next level. It gets better every year, and it's just been awesome to see. It's a cool thing you got going, and that we got going, the partnership. So
you caught your shout out at the end, right? You caught your shout out.
Oh, did I get a shout out at the end? I had it on. My internet started janking up right at the end, so I might have missed it.
I got you in there. I always try to get you in there around the about 1 minute mark when it's winded down. I try to get you in there.
I've been giving you love when I use your stuff on WHHI too. I was like, our friends of View's phone were at make sure. But hey fellas, let's shout out our Lowco Booster Club and then call it a night. We got the Court Lifestyle Pros, Low Country natives Daniel and Debbie Courts selling the Lowco Lifestyle on Hilton Head Island. Barefoot floor care of the Low Country. My guy Chris Odom will get your floors so clean your feet will thank you. Prime IV Hydration and Wellness now open in Belfair Town Village. Go see Max and get juiced up. Rooted Living Wellness. My guy Ambrose Cole is the best chiropractor around. He'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel, as well as custom gift baskets for the holidays. And Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Great place to hang out. I know you got your guy, Javon, but if your guy's ever busy, you got to go to Jay's and give him a shot. But we love Jay's Barber. Or if you're in Ridgeland and you just got to have a cut right now.
Listen, I got two guys, man, and I listen.
You ain't fooling around. You can't fool around when you got somebody you trust. You can't mess around.
Yeah, I can't. Listen, there was a long time when my first guy went to Murray. It was a long time in between there. I was doing everything. I was going to Savannah.
You talking about Pringle?
Pringle?
Yeah.
And I was going everywhere. I was going to Savannah.
I don't really need a barber.
Huh?
I just take the clip. I don't really need a barber. I just take the clippers to it every now and then, and I'm good.
Yeah, you'd be all right, man. You just go in there, you just tell them, a little off the front,
Yeah, little off the tuft. Just trim the tuft and then get the sides so I don't look like a clown.
That's it.
No, we appreciate you, man. Great win for your Dolphins tonight. I know the
man, go Dolphins.
It comes out sometimes.
Huh?
I know that alumni spirit still comes out sometimes.
Oh yeah, man! I was excited, and I try to be. I'm unbiased all the time, but then when I had Tristan there, I was like, "Oh, it's even now." It's
yeah, that's right. Though, you guys both do a great job of playing it straight, balancing it out. It's easy, really, when you strip it down and you just are focused on what's happening in the game. It's pretty easy to strip that down, but not everybody can do it. So, credit to you guys for terrific job you do of fairly covering everybody and getting everybody on some love. You got Buford Bluffton on Friday, right?
Yeah, I got Buford Bluffton. I got Buford Bluffton on there. We'll go there. That's what Thomas makes his. I'm
excited to see how Buford adjusts after what we saw tonight because they just couldn't find a way for most of that game I mean, when Bonds was solid just too, and I mean, number 12 in a nice game, but there really wasn't much else from in terms of support. So interested to see what Jeremy Huff does adjusting for Friday.
Yeah, he's a good coach too, man. So if it's anything like like I said with Coach Brown, he adjusted, man, with
Yep.
from the last game they played against Well Branch. It was a big adjustment, man. So
Yeah.
the things that he did, and I could see the difference. I felt like their defense was a lot more scrappier tonight. They were going after it and they played real clean. You know what I'm saying? So
They beat him with KJ back. That's
yeah, well,
man.
they gotta shoot, man. Caitlin Clark versus
Yeah.
USC, and she did this maneuver. She waved her off.
Yeah.
KJ, he don't. I think he might have shot like twice tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
so you, and one of them was a heave at the end of the quarter, man. So
Right. Yeah.
you know, I just think he has to go up. And I mean, they tried to get him on a dunk. He get it in the rim, but I think it like bounced out. I was checking the scoreboard on the computer, but I heard the sound, you know what I'm saying, from the rim. So they tried to get him on an inbounds. And they did that a lot last year, but for some reason this year, I haven't seen it that much. But
there were times last year where he didn't really score much, though. He just kind of distributed and played defense, which is fine because he can penetrate and kick. And they just didn't hit the threes tonight, it looked like. They just weren't
didn't
connecting on the threes as much.
I didn't call Wright's name a lot, LeBron. I didn't call his name a lot. And
yeah, like they got looks, they just couldn't knock them down.
Yeah, and then Lee and Evans, man, those were last year they would go and knock down like 4 or 5 threes a game combined, and then this year they might get 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just it's a different, different coaches, different systems, but either way, it's still a good Well Branch team, and I'm just excited either way.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it'll take there's some growing pains there too, just learning how to play paper and all that stuff. But they're incredibly long and athletic. The girls' side is rough right now.
Yeah, it's rough right there this year. I mean, we've had some good years. I mean, the last year you had Quinn, and then the years you had Canoe, and then the Wilson sisters.
Yeah,
and you know, this year it's just everybody's in a rebuild. You know.
Yeah. Well, Jen Wilson's still doing her thing at Cross, and they're strong for skis
they're rolling.
1A, but it's skis 1A, so it is what it is.
So.
But no, I've been pretty pleasantly surprised by the scrap that the Creek girls have shown, though, the last couple of weeks. They seem to be getting better.
I like Jefferson. Jefferson
number is she
0.
Okay, yeah.
She's their rebounder. She's what she's what I guess boys. She's what I was going to say Bradford, but she doesn't score as much. But she's in there. She's grabbing those rebounds. She's putting it back up. She's chasing it down, and then she gets out. She runs the floor like she runs. I wouldn't be surprised if she ran track. She gets out there.
I like the Amari Days. Yeah, so she was the one who was out last week, right? And then she got back this week. I like her. She's a good strong kid.
Yeah, she had a
soft kid. Samuel Legree's not bad either. So I heard some nice things.
They try to get her going, but it just I don't know. It just didn't it didn't work. They tried to get it to her. So
yeah.
But
no, the girls' games have been competitive, but not necessarily pretty.
Highly, yeah. That'd be all right. They get it going in the second half. The first half is always rough, man. Then the second half, they start knocking down some shots. I'm like, oh, okay, we got a game going here. But that first half, man, it'd be like 8-6, and I'd be like, God, jeez. And we just fishing for something to talk about. But that second half, they start dropping buckets, and I'm like, okay. Time to go. Let's go.
There we go. Well, you'll have to come see a USCB men's game because they don't stop scoring long enough to talk about anything.
100 points almost every game.
They'll be home Saturday. They're home Saturday.
New College of Florida.
I'd bet on 100 plus.
I think I'm free Saturday. What, you said they're home Saturday?
Yeah, playing the New College of Florida. What's the
The Mighty Banyans.
Mighty Banyans.
The Mighty Banyans. They have a tree flexing with stuff dripping from his arms. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh wow,
it's a weird look. But we'll see.
Okay,
it could be. They might put up a lot of points on Saturday. Let's put it that way.
Okay, definitely.
They're out. Fun. You should definitely go check them out. But hey, fellas, appreciate you talking hoops with us tonight. As well as we didn't ever get Birthday Boy Carnell on, but we did get Tristan Roberts, and we had CJ Brown, and of course, Javon Livingston jumping on with us to talk about basketball in the Low Country. We appreciate it very much. Thanks to all of our sponsors, as well as everybody who showed up to listen or watch. And if you're catching us in the morning, good deal. I mean, we got a morning show every morning. You don't want to watch that Today Show till Hoda comes on anyway. So just watch us first, and then watch that third hour with Hoda. We'll keep you entertained in the morning and let you know what's going on in the local sports scene. But that's going to do it for this one. So for Javon Livingston and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. And until next time, until tomorrow, the Lowco grind at 10 p.m. talking wrestling in the Lowco. We will see you next time. Till then, go Lowco.
All right.